Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. Older cameras. And I don't mean old cameras, but cameras that are still for sale, still available, but aren't the latest and greatest. We see this in a lot of lines, like Nikon has several models that have been out for quite a while, and they may have even been updated and replaced, but they're still available. For instance, I think you can buy a Nikon D5300 still. The Sony A6500. You can also get the 6300 and the 6000. A lot of manufacturers do this. I believe the Fujis do. Most of them do, now that I think about it. We have a question, though, from a viewer who writes in. This is Adnan Umer. I hope I'm saying that right. How's the Sony A7 at Canadian $9.99 body only? Is it easy to adapt, and price of lenses? So I think that's three questions. I think you're asking, do I think at $9.99 Canadian, which is approximately maybe $800, $750 US for those of you watching from the US, is that a good deal for body only? Two things. I think if it was new or a factory refurb, yes, I think it's a very good deal. If it's used, it still could be a good deal depending on how many shutter actuations are on it and what condition the body is in. If it's in really good shape, it's got low shutter actuations, it's still probably a pretty good deal. It's a good camera. It's been updated, but it's still very capable of good pictures. Easy to adapt? Absolutely. I mean, there is a plethora of adapters to use just about every lens out there on the Sony system. So it's easy to adapt. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. You can get full autofocus lenses. You can get or not autofocus lenses, sorry. You can get autofocus adapters. You can get the what I call dumb adapters that just you manual focus, but you can use any lens, and they're much cheaper. So yeah, easy to adapt, absolutely. Price of lenses? Well, this becomes one of my nitpicks with Sony. I think to get good value lenses, you have to spend more in the Sony lineup. They do have good lenses, but I'm not as big a fan of the lower, more bargain lenses. For instance, in Nikon and Canon, I feel that you can get good value, good quality lenses, maybe not the fastest. For instance, f1.8 primes tend to be a better value in the Nikon and Canon system than what you have to buy into with Sony. And the same I found with their zooms. I find you really have to step up to the top level stuff to get decent zooms. Whereas there's some decent kit lenses even with the Canon and Nikon. I don't really feel that way about the Sony kit lenses. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me about the Sony lenses? Let me know in the comments below. What about adapting it? I think it's pretty much a given that that's the case, that they're easy to adapt. Maybe you have a contrary story about adapting lenses to Sony. And as far as if it's a good deal to get a Sony A7 for $9.99 Canadian, say about $750 to $800 American, USD, let me know what you think. Do you think that's a good deal? Would you buy it? What caveats? Would you only buy it if that was a new or a refurbed? Do you find would you be okay with that, with a good quality, good condition used body? Let me know in the comments below. Let's help out Adnan. Thanks for your question. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be back soon here at artoftheimage.com.